Door's locked.
Look for supplies, things you can make tools with. Welcome to guerrilla warfare.
Creeping, Jesus. Poor bastard. Found the rope.
That's a start. Keep looking.
Broke off a fan blade.
Tie off the blade with a rope and pry open a door.
Sounds like you've done this before.
Years of practice.
Was this mission a tutorial for the DMZ mode? Perhaps, as it is not the only instance in the campaign where we have these mechanics, and they would fit really well into the idea of what DMZ is in the first place. So, let's go over these a little more in depth. Now, before we start, I know that XclusiveAce just uploaded a video. Depending on when this is uploaded, it was either today or yesterday. And yeah, I don't want to repeat the exact same points that he's making, so I'm going to add to the conversation more than anything. So I wanted to talk about the backpack system first. It's been used in a lot of stages throughout the campaign. Off the top of my head, I can remember Recon by Fire, Alone, the mission where you rescue special forces from the prison, and on the very final mission in the last section. Now, talking about the final mission specifically, is where I want to mention that we might see different levels of backpacks, as I think it might have been leaked that way. In that mission, we have, for example, only 4 slots of items that we can use, items that we can grab on the world or items that we can craft, whereas in every other mission the backpack had a capacity of 6 items. We might see possibly a level 3 backpack of sorts that may hold 8 items, and that would be as much as we can hold. And the cool thing about this is that the fact that it works as a wheel system now makes it so much more convenient and accessible. No matter whether you're playing on a controller or mouse and keyboard, it's still really accessible and easy to use. So that falls in line really well with the idea of Warzone, that it's a battle royale with simplified mechanics that allow both input methods to work together in the same ecosystem. Well, at least in theory, that is. So I quite like it. Now, as to exactly what pieces of equipment we'll be able to put in the backpack, it's a little strange, because how it works in the campaign is that, for example, in Alone, Ghost tells you what item you can craft when you gathered enough materials for it, and then it immediately assigns a slot in your backpack for it, and it stays in there throughout the rest of the mission. It's a set slot for that item, and as you go along throughout the mission, you keep earning essentially recipes for more items that you can craft. Now, in a tutorial setting, I think that works fine, but what about the real deal? What about the actual DMZ? Bear in mind also that I'm pretty sure that the exact same backpack will be used for lethal and tactical equipment, such as flashbangs or grenades, or maybe even the heartbeat sensor might show up as a super rare item. We don't know exactly, but I'm pretty confident that it will share the exact same backpack, and you will have to think carefully of what items you're going to be carrying with you at any point. I think that's probably the balancing act of this whole thing. And the way I think this is going to work is you might basically treat it like a loadout of sorts, where you will pre-equip it with items before you load into the DMZ, or at the very least, when it comes to craftable items, maybe you unlock recipes as you progress throughout the DMZ, and then once you learn those recipes, then you can choose which ones of those you'll be able to craft whenever you deploy back to the DMZ. I think it's going to work on a recipe sort of system. Otherwise, I'm not really sure how you're going to craft items just like that. But the cool thing is, what items can you craft? We've seen a whole bunch of them in the campaign. One of the most important ones is the prying tool. You can use a piece of tape and a piece of metal, you craft a prying tool, and it's a one-use item to unlock doors and crates. Now, I think that in the DMZ, this is going to be one of the most powerful pieces of equipment. It's probably also one of the most common items to craft, as I'm also pretty sure that there will be a lot of locked boxes more than anything. So likely quite a useful item to have equipped at all times. Another one that we saw in the final mission, a sort of shiv with a piece of tape and broken glass. So you can make it out of broken glass, and that earns you 1 takedown. After that, it's broken. You can't use it anymore. Now, this could be useful for taking down the enemy AI in the DMZ, as doing this with players is probably not going to be as effective. They're going to shoot you on sight. But if the AI works anything like the campaign, which I think it will be, since also the AI in the campaign is actually quite smart this time, then yeah, you will be able to do takedowns on them anyway if you sneak onto their backs. And it's probably also going to be really powerful to take down specifically the armored enemies. The other thing is, as also you saw in the final mission, you could use a prying tool to unlock boxes, and those boxes contain box cutters, only able to do takedowns and not, you know, panic knife your opponents or anything like that. We'll definitely need to see the mode live to understand how all of this really works, but I wouldn't imagine it to be anything complicated. Again, it's a Warzone mode, so it stands to reason that it would be simplified compared to Escape from Tarkov, because that's just the philosophy of Warzone, and it's worked really well for for 3 years. So I expect a simplified version of Tarkov. And next, what kinds of attachments can you find in the open world? Well, we saw sights, okay? That's kind of to be expected, and we had a clue that we would be doing something like this. If you saw some Warzone gameplay from COD Next, there was a menu that told you that you could find attachments in the world. So we see how this works, but I'm pretty sure that this one also goes hand in hand with the universal attachment thing that they have going on. So if you remember in the Gunsmith, you have things like sights, muzzle devices, underbarrels, and lasers. So I'm quite confident that they will have those available on these boxes, not just sights, but again, lasers, muzzles, which could be silencers for the most part, and underbarrels, and you will be able to equip those on whatever guns you have equipped on you, or even swap in between the ones that you have equipped. You'll likely find weapons, find attachments, and then you'll deploy back with those, but then you find a better laser, so you can just swap between those, you know, swapping attachment on the fly. I'm talking about the weapons. I actually don't think that they would occupy any space on the backpacks, because I think they would have done it like that in the campaign if that was the case. And again, that would be complicating the system maybe a tad bit too much. Not necessary for it to be part of the backpack. So yeah, I think we're safe from that. I think that is going to be reserved only for items that again can be crafted and equipped as lethal or tactical pieces of equipment, or you can just find a lucky flashbang on a crate or something like that. So yeah, that's it for now really. That's all I have to comment. Again, just adding to what XclusiveAce said in his video. Tell me what you think in the comments below. I'd like to see what other people can theorize as to what this mod's gonna look like. So tell me, I would be very interested in hearing that. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye!